Welcome to Wine with Friends, where meaningful connection and thoughtful conversation are always present when we share wine intentionally. This evening, have another very special guest, a dear friend, a brother of mine, UNC basketball player, NCAA champion in 2009, 15-year European professional basketball veteran, and now part of the new ownership group of the Palm Beach Royals in the Major League Pickleball League, Deon Thompson. Thanks for being here, brother.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. Happy to be here with you.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
And welcome to the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah.
The owners of the Rabbit Hole, this beautiful establishment that you're now seeing for the first time, have been very generous in allowing us to shoot the podcast here. We love this backdrop, so thank you to the Rabbit Hole. Well, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, it's pretty sick. I can see how this place is a legend in the streets.
Yeah, it is
in the streets of Chapel Hill, Carborough. But I'm happy to finally be sitting here and hopefully to spend a lot more time here in the near future.
Yeah, hopefully so. All right, so I talked a little bit about your 15-year professional career, which is still ongoing, by the way. You're not done. You got this new pickleball venture. I mean, obviously, you've had a great career here at Carolina as well. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your journey, man, coming from California, getting here to Chapel Hill. Tell us how we got to sitting here together.
I mean, I think the tool of that was basketball, obviously, right? I mean, basketball has been something that's been very good to me. It's allowed me to kind of create a cool little life for myself and kind of as well as share with the people around me, my family, to be able to come all the way from California, all the way across the country, here to North Carolina to start, and then even using that tool to go abroad to see parts of the world that I never could have even thought I would be at or be able to hang out at or just embrace myself in those places. But kid from Torrance, California, and city kid that came to the country out here in North Carolina where things are a little bit slower. But I found myself that I do appreciate that now in my older age. That when being here in North Carolina, that's why I've kind of made this my home base, is that when I'm here, things kind of slow down for me and I can really focus on things and realize what's important to me and really stay locked in on my goals, which is to be training and preparing for the upcoming season, as well as other things that I kind of got my hands in right now. So that's kind of a little bit of how I've gotten to North Carolina and why I've chosen to stay here.
Love it. So tell us about some of the places that you've been overseas.
Man.
I didn't even want to start rattling them off because I knew I'd be leaving some out. You probably going to leave some out.
I'm new to it, really. Coming straight out of Carolina, I started in Athens, Greece, which I think was like a perfect transition for me at that time, leaving college at 21 and going to a city like Athens where nightlife is a cool little thing, but basketball is very high level. The food, I love to eat, and the food there is incredible. And some of the most genuine, nicest people I've ever met was my time in Athens. And then from there, I shot over to Slovenia, Ljubljana, which was getting in that kind of those ex-Yugoslavian Balkan countries, which was where basketball is almost like a religion when you start to get to that parts of the world, right? And it was my first time going into the EuroLeague, which was, in my opinion, is right after the NBA is the best brand of basketball in the world. And cool, during that time, that was right during the NBA lockout. And so me and Danny were actually teammates during that time, which was really cool. He was my roommate on the road, and it was cool to be there with Danny, especially if you go back 3 years prior. We had won a national championship together, right? And so to be a starter on that national championship team, and then now we're playing across the world in Slovenia and Ljubljana was something all places was super special. And then we got a guest appearance by you as well, right?
Which is pretty cool, yeah.
Which we were playing a game in Tel Aviv, and you were playing in Israel at the time, and for you to come to the game, check us out, and then to hang out after the game, it's like those type of things is what goes back to what I talked about was basketball, right? For me, basketball has been such an amazing thing that's also allowed me to stay connected with people. And then from there, dude, this goes on and on. The places I've been.
Okay, Slovenia, then where else?
Then we had a little stint in Germany. So then we started off in Alba Berlin for a year, then went to 2 years to Bayern Munich, which for me was one of the coolest times playing for. I feel like it's really special when you play for a basketball team that has like a soccer team connected to it. So playing for FC Bayern Munich is one of the biggest clubs in Germany and a known name around the world.
Certainly.
And that's kind of when I really got involved in watching soccer, going to Champions League games and really seeing that. Then I started playing FIFA on the PlayStation and stuff. So that really was cool to really start to open my brain and mind to soccer, you know, and how big it is over there. But then being one of the first teams to win a championship for FC Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga for them was something really cool to be able to do, right? To engrave your name in history of that such a big organization and franchise. And then from there, I went to China, which was life-changing. I mean, obviously, there's parts of it that's really, really cool, but it's obviously just a different culture, the way that they kind of interact with people and different mannerisms and just obviously a different culture and the food. Dude, the food.
So what was some of
crazy.
the wildest stuff you had in China?
Wow, dude. So there was for them, a frog is like a delicacy, right?
Interesting.
But not just like simple frog legs. I'm talking whole body frogs.
Thing.
The whole frog, bro. So like after a game, my time in China was really cool. We ended up going to the finals. We ended up losing in Game 6 of the finals to Stephon Marbury and Randolph Morris.
Oh wow, okay.
So they were going on back-to-back championships. So we ended up my other import was Lester Hudson. Shout out to Lester Hudson, Memphis legend. But after a game, the whole team was super excited, bro, that they just came out with this whole thing of frogs. But these dudes are still moving in there, bro.
Stop,
They're
bro.
still moving around. But these dudes are getting them, cracking them open, and it just was
Were
like
they fried or something?
No, I think they were boiled. But that was probably one of the wildest things.
No way.
Wildest things that I would share that I saw right there. And then from there, I actually went back to Germany for a small stint, then ended up in Istanbul, Turkey.
Okay.
And played for Galatasaray, which is another.
Gonna have to interrupt you here.
Yeah.
Did we miss Jerusalem? Didn't you go from China
that's
to
right,
Jerusalem?
dude. You know it better than me. I
Yeah.
did. Dude, I totally forgot that. So after finishing China in March, I finished out the rest of the season up until June in Israel.
That's right.
Dude, I don't even know how I forgot that because for me,
and y'all won.
We won a championship there.
Right.
First championship in Hapoel Jerusalem's history, which was really cool. And then also outside of that, I really got really deep in my faith during that time. My wife and I got baptized in the Jordan River during that time. I connected with the church, and even the pastor that was there at the church flew back to North Carolina and married my wife and I down in Winston-Salem.
Awesome.
My time in Israel was, I don't even know how I totally forgot about that. That just shows how many different teams and how much basketball has taken me everywhere. But that time in Israel was really cool. Even from winning the championship, the life-changing moment of being baptized and really diving deep into my faith. And then even when you being there and you may read something in the Bible like Mount Olives or the Garden of Gethsemane, but then you actually see it, right? Then it kind of is it makes it just even a little bit more real, right? When you can, sometimes obviously our faith is about what we believe in the things unseen, but when you can actually see it, it was kind of really changes the game. So that was really cool time in life. So after that, then I went to Istanbul.
Got it.
Back to Munich, then to Istanbul, to Galatasaray, playing again in EuroLeague, which we had a very, very, very good team. But I actually didn't stay in there for the full season. Ended up leaving right at the EuroLeague. They have a trade deadline. That's January 1st. So at that time, I got traded to a team called Crvena Zvezda, which is the Red Star in Belgrade, Serbia. One of the most passionate fans that you can find.
I can't wait to cue the clip on that, man.
Anywhere.
Those fans are nuts.
Anywhere, man. And that was just super sick. We ended up making it to the EuroLeague. We got to the last game to make it to the EuroLeague playoffs. Unfortunately, we didn't make it, but to win the Adriatic League was really cool. Winning the Serbia Cup was really cool, and then ended up winning the Serbian League as well. So shout out to Red Star and the things that they're doing. And when you do please cue that up with the fans because that is I don't think here in the States we don't understand how big basketball is in these parts of the world and how much people are really passionate and really care about their team to a whole different level. So that was really, really special time. From there is where I started my stint in Spain. After that, in Burgos, which is in the north, I was there for 1 year. Then went down to the south of Spain in Malaga, which was probably one of my favorite stops throughout my whole journey, just from the food, the weather, the convenience of the city, and how it's like a big city, but it's not overcrowded, right? And you're right there on the coast. So that was super beautiful. And then I spent the one last year in Zaragoza, which is right below Barcelona.
Okay.
And so that was a beautiful time for me. And for me, after ACB is one of probably the best domestic league you can find.
Top league in Spain.
Yeah, for sure, top league in Spain. And I think that shows even with their national team, even in the past, how good their national teams were from the Pau Gasols and the Gasol brothers and Rudy Fernandez and these guys who played a long time in the NBA.
Sergio
Llull, and these guys are high level guards, high level players. So Spain is, in my opinion, one of the best leagues in the world. Dude, another place I forgot in that was Lithuania. I was there in Zalgiris.
Yeah.
Man, it's so like there's so many teams that I've just.
What a beautiful thing that you've had so many experiences that you literally can hardly remember them all.
I know, bro. I got to write a book or like write them down, and
I will be the first one to buy it,
and then share these stories. But the journey has been amazing, and obviously, I like you said earlier, I'm finished year 15, and now preparing for year 16, and I'm excited to know where I'll land and where my wife and I will be this upcoming season, and this journey has been awesome for me. I am 37 now, so I do understand that it's on that back end, right? But I'm still trying to make the most of it while I can.
Man, honestly, bro, so proud of you. It's so amazing that I've known you so long, and to see this journey that you've been on and that you are currently on. Like, dude, 15 years is wild.
Man, it's been a grind. Body feels it at times, but shout out to Jonas Saration. I still train with him every day. And
keeping you right,
trying to keep me right, keep me strong, keep me healthy. So I do put the work in, and I think it shows with the longevity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you talked about Spain being one of your favorite places to be.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you blessing us with this La Rioja Alta Grand Reserva 904 2015. May I open this for us?
Please do.
Man, that's so great. We get a little Rioja tonight. I'm a big fan of Spanish wine. Obviously, you are from your time in Spain.
Yeah.
You talked about Malaga a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, what else was it about Spain that really just caught your attention and made you fall in love with it?
I think that's, for me, is where my kind of wine journey began.
Okay, great.
On off days, we would just drive to wineries and kind of just spend our time in seeing how the whole wine process was going, how the wines were made, and also just hearing the history, right? And most of the times I feel like in Spain, and probably a lot of the wines around the world, it always starts just with like a little small winery, a little small vineyard, someone's family who started it, and you see it grow and grow. And so for me, Spanish wines, I love the taste, but I think so for me, it's also just a moment in time that it takes me to. And it takes me back to Spain. It takes me back to being in there and being in those wineries. And we were there during COVID for 2 years.
Yep.
And we were there for 2 years and didn't even come home. So like, Spain for me is a special place, and it got us through a strange time in the world with COVID. There was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unknowns, and Amber and I just stayed put there in Spain. And obviously wineries weren't open at that time, but prior to that, just going to wineries and learning a little bit about the Spanish grapes, and it's, for me, is where the love and the appreciation for wines really started.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Thank you.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
So, you're just going to lead me right into my next question, which is awesome. Well, first with a statement, right? Like, we've had some conversations on the pod before about, changing our mindset from worrying about the score that this wine may or may not have gotten, and really getting more focused on the story behind it. Yeah. And you talked about going to these wineries and getting to meet the winemakers and being in the vineyards and understanding it as more of like an art form and an expression versus just like something that you're grabbing off the shelf, right? And so tell us a little bit more about kind of what those experiences were like when you and Amber got to go and visit these people and talk to them. Your Spanish is also at a high level, so it allowed you to probably talk to them in a different way.
Gracias.
But but what was that like, getting to really like dive in on that level with the people who actually have their hands on these grapes?
I mean, for me, it's really cool. I mean, I think especially when they see that you're really genuinely like interested, right? And you're not just there just to be there, but you're really just genuinely interested about the history of their family and how long these vines and these have been there in the ground and the roots of it, right? So going to Romain Bilbao is another one in Bilbao, north in the region of Spain. That's another one that we went to. That's kind of was the first winery we actually went to. And kind of like when you go to Spain, that's like the one bottle they'll put on the table is Romain Bilbao.
Okay.
And that's the one that you'll see all around Spain. And for us, and that to actually go to that winery, but then to sit down at a restaurant and they just like bring it out, be like, oh yeah, we've been there. We know that one. Yeah, we know that one. So that for me is like the cool part about it. I think you said like, it's a story to it. It's an art to it. And I think just when we started going to wineries, we started to understand it and really appreciate it, just like on a different level. And for us, it just became, I think, having wine now, I think we have a different appreciation for it, just trying to drink it and feeling the feels off of it, but actually try to recognize what we taste. And so it's been cool to go to wineries and then experience the wines after.
Totally. This is lovely, by the way. We don't typically get too deep into what we got going on here, but the fact that I just love the fresh fruit on this. I mean, obviously it's got 10 years of age, but these wines are typically built to last a long time. La Rioja Alta is, one would say, a benchmark, Tempranillo, benchmark, wine from this region. This kind of sets the tone for what these wines are like.
Yeah, man.
We did do a little bit of reading before, and we found out that that this has aging in American oak, which I definitely get as well. But I do love this wine. I do genuinely appreciate you bringing this, man. I do not have do not have this one a ton, but this is very nice.
Yeah, man, definitely.
You mentioned some wineries by name already.
Yep.
And you mentioned that Spain was where, it really kind of started to take off for you.
Yep.
Is there, maybe not necessarily where it started, but is there a memory of, or a moment where wine was kind of central to the experience, where, a light bulb really went off in your head and you're like, man, this is, I want to know more. I want to dig deeper.
Yeah. I think most recently, going to South Africa. We went to Stellenbosch region, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on there, right?
Heck yeah.
I'm blanking on the grape right now.
Chenin Blanc?
No.
No?
Say another one.
Oh gosh, in South Africa.
I can't hate to put you on the spot like that.
I feel like they're growing Chardonnay down there.
Okay. Dude, I'm blanking on
it. I feel like they're even growing Pinot Noir in South Africa.
Okay. You might be right. But I was just thinking about
south where it's cool enough.
Cool there. The climate is legit. But
Sauvignon Blanc down there too?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure.
Check my skills now. Yeah. I need to get myself together here.
Pinotage, boom.
Pinotage, very nice.
That's the word I was looking. That is the word. Shout out to Pablo back there.
That's why we got the producer here, y'all.
That's the Pinotage. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
But just going through that, to me, I think that's so different, because it's like, I didn't know, right? Mm-hmm. I had no idea. I didn't know until Pablo shouted that out. But to have those experiences where you're just starting to go into these different places around the world, and you're finding just good quality, high level wines, and people that are making them, and people that are loving what they do. I think that was just another light bulb moment that was like, when I start to travel, I want to continue. Like, I've been to a lot of places around the world, but one thing that I won't say I don't regret, but wish I would have added along to that, was the experiencing more wines in those different places, right? And so being in South Africa, going to Stellenbosch, experiencing the Pinotage, that was kind of like, oh man, I can do this everywhere I go when I travel, right? And so that's something that that was a light bulb moment to something that's something I need to continue to add to my itinerary when I do travel.
Heck yeah, man. I've been thinking about, creating an itinerary to travel the world that is focused on wine, like instead of going to the big cities and all these different countries, like let's go to wine country in Argentina. Let's go to wine country in Portugal. Let's go, take a trip all over the world and just focus on the wine regions there. Yeah. Something that I'm thinking about.
Trying to
get the budget together.
Bro. Yeah, invite me. I'm sure we'll pull up. Pablo pull up too. We'll definitely tag along.
Want to back up a little bit. We talked a little bit about coming from California. Obviously teammates, Carolina basketball family. I got to poke and prod a little bit about, some of those moments that you spent here in Chapel Hill. Yeah. What are some of the things that stand out to you about your time and experience here in Chapel Hill?
Man, where to start? Obviously, I think the easiest one that we all can say is that 2009 team, right?
Sure.
To do what we did and the way we did it was pretty special, right? I don't think there's been a team that I can think of in recent years that had a dominant run like we did in that 2009. That whole March was a breeze, to say the least. But I think it goes back to the year before, right? It goes back to that 2008 and that Kansas loss and how we lost. But even though we did fight, I think I watched that game recently with a friend, just because I hadn't watched it and we were just like randomly talking about it. Shout out to Russell Dean. I actually watched it with him and he knew it like play by play, exactly like how it was going to go down.
Either, man.
And I hadn't seen it to that point, but it was a point where we cut it to like 6.
I think we cut it to 4. But how much we were down before?
Yeah, DG had a shot to cut it, I believe, to even like 1.
Yeah.
He had a 3, and obviously, I mean, dude, we spent so much energy fighting back to that game, being down 20, and to be that close, and then for that to end the way it did after the year we had, but then that happens, but then everybody kind of comes back for the following year, right? Mm-hmm. It kind of was like a full circle moment, and I think once we got back to that national championship game, we just felt like this is ours. Like, we belong here. We've been here. We've been here already. We know what we have to do. We were so locked in. We were so focused. So that obviously was such a cool moment. I don't even Maui Invitational for me was really cool. I mean, that was the first time I'd been to Hawaii. Yeah. And so I remember that. I remember we played. I don't know if we played Notre Dame in the final. I feel like, or maybe I think we did. I remember Kyle Marcolane going crazy. Yeah, he went off. I actually ended up playing with him abroad, overseas. Nice. And I remember they had Luke Herringody, who's a really good big, and him and Tyler kind of going at it, and the two biggest names in the country at the time. But winning that tournament and just being there, it was during Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And for me, it was the first time my mom been to Hawaii, my dad. And so to have them there during that time was something really cool. And then to be there with the teammates and our family and our brothers, and we're celebrating Thanksgiving, and we just won the Maui Invitational. That was something that was really, really cool. And then I think about the moments just away from the court, right? Mm-hmm. Just the times that we spent bonding, hanging out on Franklin Street, and just being real just teenagers. I mean, at that time, young adults. And I think we did it right? We, luckily for us, which I don't think is a bad thing, there wasn't certain types of social media that didn't give you full access to who we were, which I think was a good thing at that time, because it kind of protected us and protected our ability to be like present in those moments, right? Where it's like sometimes like it's not real until you post it, right? Until it comes out. But I feel like in those times we were just in it. Like we weren't worried about trying to record it. We were just in it, and we were having a good time. So outside of those the highlight moments of national championships, winning the ACC tournament, I think the moments that I took away were the moments that we spent away from the court and really just growing our friendships, our brotherhood, and the relationships that I still have to today that are some of the best relationships that I have in my life.
I love that, man. I love that. You know, you mentioned Franklin Street. One of the places where we did spend a decent amount of time was at the Crunkleton. Mm-hmm. Do want to shout out to Crunkleton for their unwavering support of this podcast. Thank you, Gary. Thank you to the Crunkleton. We appreciate you. I know this isn't a wine story, and I hate to put you on the spot here, but I do remember at one point, maybe in like the summer of 2018, I feel like we were at the Crunkleton. I feel like I remember you buying the entire bar, shots of tequila. Am I wrong?
That was for a great reason. That was right after they were naming the court after Coach Williams.
That's right.
And it was a reunion. A year was attached to that of a celebration, I feel like, too. No?
Maybe.
But it was a
lot of guys were in town.
Everybody was in town. It was a good time, and I was feeling good, and I do like tequila as well. I always feel like it gets the party going a little bit, and we had everybody there from Marvin to Stack to Wes Miller, Bobby Frazier, Tyler Hansbrough, Mike Cope, Wayne. I mean, the whole crew was there, right? And definitely the crunk got crunked that night.
If I'm not mistaken, I think you bought 75 shots of tequila.
There was at least 75 people there, so that might sound about right.
Wow.
That might sound right.
You talked about your family.
Yep.
You talked about your mom and dad coming to Hawaii, the family that you built here at Carolina with the players and the time that we spent on and off the court. What does it mean for you to be a part of this family that we've come to know as the Carolina basketball family?
Yeah, man. It means everything to me, bro. To the point to where I even got you guys tatted on my leg to that extent, right?
That is fair. Yes, you did.
That's like true love, right? I mean, for me, it's something that was always been genuine from day one. Like from a kid came here to North Carolina at 17 years old as a freshman.
Yep.
Got here in August, turned 18 in September. But I left everything unknown, right? Back home and coming 5 hours away by plane across the country. But then when I got here, you were here, Bob, Tyler, Mike Cope, then Q, Ray Terry, Wes Miller, everybody just welcomed me with open arms, right? And to the point where it was like I didn't even miss home. It was because I had you guys here, and we really were together. Like as much time as we spent on the court, we spent just as much time off the court. And so for me, you guys really became my family in that time of when I'm sure there were moments and times where I did miss home, right? But being around you guys made it a lot easier, right? Where I didn't have to think about what I was missing by being away from home. Even when you have those phone calls from your mom and she's like, oh, I miss you and stuff. And yeah, I miss you too, but it's still that you're still good though. And she can hear it in my voice knowing that I'm okay where I was at. And even now, like even think about guys I didn't even play with. Marvin Williams, who's someone who's my best friend, who spent countless summers here, 10 summers to get his degree after he turned pro after 1 year. But during his time being here, summer after summer, grinding, we got really close during that time and working out together in the summer times, and him pouring into me and showing me how to be a pro and how to do things the right way and how to carry yourself on the court, off the court, and really being a professional. And that was him just taking me under his wing and showing me how to be a pro and how to do things the right way and even just be a stand-up good person. And so that's Carolina family to me. Someone that I did not play with, completely weren't even at school at the same time, but really reached out to me and really poured into me and helped me become who I am today. There's a lot of people who played a part in that. But I feel like Marv is someone who really is a big part of that. Someone I talk to every day, is a best friend of mine. But that's Carolina family, right? This past summer, I played in the Basketball African League, and Dewey was there, Dewey Ferris.
Yeah.
He was there. Oh, bro, you're here? Oh, you're here? We get dinner together 2 nights in a row. We enjoy some good wines in Rwanda, all the way across on the other side of the world. So to me, that's Carolina family, is making time for each other, even when no matter where you are, you picking up the phone, being there. And so for me, like I can go on and on about what Carolina family means to me. And I think, shout out to Coach Williams. I think it started with Coach Smith, and Coach Williams continued to carry that on. And I think Coach Davis is doing a good job of doing that now.
A couple things. Gosh, you got my mind all over the place.
I love it.
Marvin Williams comes back here for 10 years to get his degree.
Unbelievable.
You got your degree at Carolina.
Yep.
But you are now getting another degree at Carolina.
It's in the process, yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, well, basketball has been my whole life for the last, as a professional, 15 years, but even going back to that with college and high school, so 20 plus years, basketball is all I known. And I just want to continue to better myself, continue to prepare myself for what's after basketball. So I was applying to a few other grad school programs, and I was accepted to the UNC Kenan Flagler's Business School to get my master's in business. So I'm currently in week 5 right now. So learning a lot with my analytical tools, learning about some linear regressions and some hypothesis testing and some good stuff like that. And also taking marketing right now, learning about segmentation and understanding your customers and your whys and stuff. So just learning new things has been really cool. Yeah. Just opening my mind and just learning. And I think you can maybe speak to this. This is something that's inevitably is going to be happening, is that basketball is going to end. And I think for a lot of players, and even if it's basketball, or if it's a new job or whatever you may be doing, transition is never easy, right? And I think as an athlete, it gets even harder because so much of like who we are and what we do is attached to our identity. And we're in a sport that's a performance-based sport. Yep. So it gets really easy and very dangerous to attach your worth to your performance. Yep. And so I'm trying to prepare for what's next, and it's coming and it's scary. To be honest, just to not know what is next, but I'm trying to do everything I can to make that transition as smooth as possible. I think Coach Rob always say, get your work done early. Do your work early.
You won't believe this. Literally 3 days ago, I went and worked out at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And when I finished my workout, I text Coach Rob.
There we go.
And I was like, you won't believe all I heard just now in my brain for the last hour was get your work done early.
Get your work done early, bro. That's it right there. And that's what I'm trying to do. Obviously, I want to continue to play as long as I can, but getting my work done early and preparing for that transition now, because I think it's hard, right? When you try to basketball ends or whatever your thing is, it ends, and now you're trying to figure out what's next, right?
Right.
And that makes it even harder. So going back to school, getting my master's in business, my goal is that it continues to open up new doors, continue to elevate my way of thinking, the way how I see things, and in today's ever-changing landscape of business. And so that was one of the real reasons to go back to it. And luckily, it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but luckily I've done okay for myself with basketball. That I'm able to do that, and hopefully my idea is that I'll get it back tenfold and whatever's next for me after basketball.
I think you will, man. Well, I'm super proud of you again, man, just for all the things you're doing. But that's incredible to put athletes in the spotlight for something like that, you know. I think it's important for everybody out there to see athletes as more, to your point, more than what they're doing on the court, you know.
Sure.
We got a lot of intelligent and ambitious and bright folks in the world of athletics that go on to do great things in a lot of different industries. And so I'm excited for this for you, man. And
thank you.
I just want to shout out, you know, Coach Rob and Coach Holiday, Coach McGrath, Coach Hass, and obviously Coach Williams. You know, you talked about all the things that they've done, you know, as a coaching staff to prepare you in all the different ways and being prepared now for what's going to come after basketball. I think a lot of what they taught us and through the sport of basketball has gotten us to the point where we're thinking about preparation, right? I mean, no different than we were preparing for the teams that we were going to face later on in the year, earlier in the year, right? You know what I mean? Like just always thinking ahead and thinking how to be best prepared for the challenges that we're going to face. So really cool to see you doing that, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
So want to get back to this wine here, and then maybe not necessarily this wine specifically, but you know, this Spanish wine. You obviously loved your time in Spain and getting to, you know, experience life there. What was it like in some of the other places with wine? You know, did you have an experience with wine when you were in Slovenia? Or, you know,
I think the coolest one for me was probably Germany.
Okay.
My grandma loves her white wines. And Rieslings come to mind, right?
Drink more Riesling.
So Rieslings are another kind of fave that I like to enjoy as well. Austria does some really cool ones as well that are really fire. So my grandma now is 87, but she came and visited me in Germany, and her coming there and her wanting her wine, you know, and to be able to know that Germany has some of the best like Rieslings and white wines that come to my mind. Like if I was to, I mean, I don't know a lot about wines,
no, that's
but
all right, man.
That's something that I do kind of know. But that was one place that I felt that always had some good quality like white wines.
Gosh, there's just so many interesting grapes out there, and I'll echo your sentiments. I do not know nearly as much as I want to about all the different things going on out there, but there's just so many cool things to explore, which, you know, you started to mention it. That's what I love about wine, because it doesn't force you, but it gives you the opportunity to open your mind up to things that you haven't experienced or that you wouldn't otherwise try. You know, having a chance to share it with other people and get to hear what things they like and, you know, or where they're from or anything like that, you know. And so I just love the mindset that it puts you in terms of like just being open and exploring and trying new things. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you know this is about as well as anybody, what you've gained from traveling the world and being around all these different cultures and having that perspective, you know, is something that's truly invaluable to be able to not only navigate your life, but then to like appreciate what's around you, to have compassion for those around you.
Man, so big.
And I feel like, you know, I feel like drinking wine from all different regions of the world, especially when you think about the stories and the people that are behind them. You know, I just feel like it gives you a different perspective on life and allows you to appreciate all people, which right now, I've said this for the last year and a half almost, you know, but like right now I feel like we need that more than ever, you know, to have something that pulls us together and something that allows us to connect when there's so many things out there that are trying to pull us apart.
100%, bro. I definitely agree. And what better way to do it over some good wine, right?
Exactly, man. It's like everybody wins.
Yeah, that's so good. Now, you said a lot of good stuff right there, man. And the people just kind of coming together. And I think that was something that really resonated. And we, like you said, we do need that more than ever right now. And so you hit on a lot of good stuff right there.
So a question I always ask is if you had to think about this exact bottle of wine and you had the opportunity to share that with anyone outside of me, either past or present, this bottle, who would you want to share this bottle of wine with?
This specific bottle?
This specific bottle.
Man, that's a good question. Tupac Shakur comes to mind.
Yes.
Just because of the way his mind, I felt like he was talking about things today that was going on like
Yes, he was.
back in 1990, you know what I mean? Or 80 or late 80s or 93. But and I think he was such a deep person. His poetry that he ended up turning into music, and at a time that he'd kind of just revolutionized, I feel like, hip hop, and gave people like a pretty cool voice to express themselves.
Yep.
And I just think he was super deep, and someone who kind of, obviously being from Baltimore, I believe, or somewhere on the East Coast, and ended up eventually getting his start going out west to California. He was like our superhero growing up in California.
Obviously listened to him a bunch growing up, but I do remember, watching a handful of his interviews and just seeing how connected he was to social issues that were going on.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that he was very aware of and spoke out about and spoke to in his music as well. And that's definitely one thing that I've always appreciated about him and the music that he made. So yeah, man, gosh, shout out to Pac. Dang, that'd be good to sit here with Pac and drink some wine.
Right, that would be crazy.
Do you have in your mind kind of a highlight moment of someone that you've connected with because of wine?
Honestly, you have been like one of my biggest connections when it comes to wine. I mean, I think it just speaks to you, and I think you and wine and like what this pod's about is like bringing people together, connecting people. Well, I think one of the coolest dudes that I met most recently is Philippe.
Oh man, Philippe Andre. Just someone I hope you have on the podcast at some point in time. Just a person who's trying to chase him down right now.
Yeah. So shout out to Philippe. Just someone who's just has such a big personality and someone who can really bring people together. Someone who's very knowledgeable about wine. Probably the one of the most knowledgeable. Probably like the most knowledgeable that is actually still cool. Not to say that. Not to say like why people that are knowledgeable that are not cool, but are still. I still got a little smack.
No, but that's part of what I think he is trying to do, and what I think a lot of people that are truly into wine are trying to do. They're trying to kind of break down these walls that have been built up for people to think that it's like a stuffy thing or a pretentious thing to be into wine. So I think that there's a very I think that there's a really focused effort right now from everybody that's in the wine industry to make it accessible, to make it fun, to kind of get rid of this stigma that, it's an expensive thing that only fancy people get to deal with and talk about and make it this stuffy thing. And so I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah. But so Philippe is someone cool. I was in Chicago a couple of weeks ago, and we had a pleasure to meet his wife, and we enjoyed a Chicago-style pizza at Pequod's. And so he came through, ordered up all the good stuff on the pizza, and also helped me get a very nice bottle of Louis Jadot.
Yeah, Louis Jadot.
Louis Jadot from my wife from 19. Not gonna say her birth year out there.
There you go. Got her birth year out there.
Not gonna put her birth year out
there.
Which
is awesome, by the way.
It was
super
just cool that that was a connection I met through you.
Yeah.
But to go to Chicago to meet his family, and to share a beautiful meal, to drink some good wine, and then to have a bottle of wine from 80 something.
Yeah.
But from a wine that's older than me. How about that? We'll say that.
Okay.
Older than me, that's like, for me, that's like one of the oldest bottles of wines I've had the pleasure of drinking. Yeah. And for him to do that is something, for him might not have been a big thing, but for me, it was super special for my wife to have a bottle of wine from her birth year to celebrate on her birthday in Chicago. So shout out to Philippe.
Yeah, man.
I think that's probably one of the most, that's a connection that I kind of made within the last month or so that's through wine and someone I think is really cool.
It's very interesting that you say that, because I think that there is no doubt in my mind that would have been my answer.
Yeah.
I mean, this is someone who he always jokes about this, that we were champagne pen pals. So when I was living in France, the same time that I came to visit you in Malaga, during COVID, living in France, I just remember like all of this Charles Heidsieck stuff popping up in my feed. And I had it before living in France, but like I didn't know what was going on. And saw he was drinking all types of different champagnes, and I really kind of just fell in love with champagne living in France. It's just so, we had it in the post-game VIP, after game, go hang out with all the donors and stuff. And so I was drinking champagne. And we got to talking online, and like for like 2.5 years, we were just like talking online. I'd be asking him like, hey, I'm about to have this bottle of La Rioja Alta. It's 2015. How soon should I open this? Or how long should I decant it? Or, I was just like, we just connected so seamlessly and so easily through wine, and then had the opportunity to meet him in person in Chicago. Tyler Hansbrough's getting inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame, and got to connect with him there. And man, he, just like your experience with him, the very first time I met him, I thought I was like his little cousin or something.
Right.
I mean, like, come scoop me up, take me to the wine warehouse, open up 3-4 bottles of wine, bring food from Kasama, which is
unbelievable,
fire, by the way. Oh so my goodness. And I was just like, man, it really blew me away.
Yeah, bro.
And so that is definitely one of them. And now to this day, becoming better and better friends, actually becoming partners in some of the wine stuff that I got going on, with him and Charles Heidsieck and with Folio Wines. And so I'm glad you said that, man.
Yeah, man.
And,
shout out to Philippe, man.
Yeah, we definitely got to get him on the pod. Another question that I have to ask you, being a Carolina guy, it's always, I don't want to say controversial, but it's a challenging question as well.
Yeah.
Your all-time starting five for UNC men's basketball.
Man, that is a tough one. I need you a little bit of help. Just only simple question of what time, like what era of basketball are we playing right now? Like basketball has changed. Basketball has changed so much.
Hey, I know you just started school again, but
that's a tough one.
Read the question, answer the question. The question is all time.
All time. Are we only college, or is it like
all time as a? That's fair.
It's like, because it's tough. You know.
That's fair. All time, thinking about their college career.
Okay. Thinking about their college career, college career only. Because if we think about pro career, it's totally different, right?
College career.
Shout out to Danny Green, 3-time NBA champion, you know, and national champion. There's I think MJ, James Worthy. I don't know how many other guys have won an NCAA championship and an NBA championship. So shout out to my boy DG.
The list is very short.
Very short. So that's why you got to kind of get the context of this whole thing.
I agree.
For me, the easiest pick is someone that I've seen every day bring that shit. You know, they worked hard. They raised the level of everyone around them.
Okay.
And I think his will was greater than his skills. If that even, not a shot to his skills, but it's just the reality of it when you watch him play. So at the 5, I'm gonna put Tyler Hansbrough.
Yep.
A really close, for me, who could be another 5 is someone who was sentimental to me was Sean May.
Oh yeah.
Because growing up, being in high school, put a picture of me in high school, I was big. Dude. I was a big guy. Like I was overweight, not to say Sean was overweight, but Sean was a big guy who had great feet, great hands. And so I saw the type of player I wanted to be in Sean May. So for me, that's very close for my 5 position.
Yep.
So I'll put Tyler at the 5, which I think is an easy one. Now, obviously at the 2, I'm going to put Michael Jordan, obviously, let alone what he did as a pro, but what he even did at college. I think as he hit that shot against Georgetown to win a national championship, he doesn't hit that shot. Is he who he is still today? That confidence, that belief?
Are we
Probably
here?
So. Are we
here?
Right? Are we wearing Jordans? You know?
I don't know.
So at the 2, I would put MJ. So this is where things get like, the style of basketball we're playing gets really, really, really into it at this point. At the 4, I can either go with Rashid because he was just a straight dog, right?
Love that.
But I got to put Antoine Jameson.
I feel like I did this exact same thing a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't know which way to go. I love me some shit.
And I think it's simple. If you just look up in those rafters and you just look at that front row, those guys whose numbers we won't ever see in Carolina blue again, I think next to Tyler is Antoine, right?
I think so.
And I think that was like our last National Player of the Years that we've had. And so, and I just loved the way he played the game. Like he would score so quickly. We're not even putting the ball on the ground. Would catch, finish, super athletic. And so Twan, I'll put Twan at the 4.
Okay.
So I got Tyler at the 5, Twan at the 4.
Yep.
At the 3, this is where this gets really tough. At the 3, I'm just going to go with a bunch of size right now.
Yeah.
Because I think size in today's game, you need it. You got to have a lot of size. I'm going to put big game James Worthy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him at the 3.
Big game James.
You know?
Okay.
I like that.
Gastonia guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a lot of size, mobility. Shooting, I got that with MJ. The 3 position, that's just off the top. I think I need a little bit more time.
No,
I think I need a little bit more time with that.
Yeah, this is the other thing too is like we get real caught up in this question as Carolina guys. Yeah, but like, is there truly like a bad starting 5 that you? I mean, like
you can't go wrong anyway.
We have a very unique problem with this question that we've got so many great players that deserve to be on an all-time starting 5 list that are like, I mean, like Shame.
Yeah, bro.
He's not on your all-time starting 5, but like
hard to,
he definitely deserves to be on somebody's all-time starting 5.
That's why I had to give him the honorable mention right there.
Honorable mention for sure.
Give him a shout out on that one.
For sure.
And then at the 1, that's another tough one for me. The 1 is like the most important position in basketball. You can't do anything without a point guard. So for me, it gets really tough. For 1, my heart wants to say Ty Lawson. To this day, I don't think I've ever seen a person that fast with the basketball in their hand.
Definitely not.
Like, you could be running with nothing in your hand, and he's going to beat you with the basketball, which is crazy to me. Yeah. I think Phil Ford is, for the time period of basketball, I think he kind of revolutionized that position and really made it cool, especially at Carolina and the things that they did. And not even mention Raymond Felton. It's like it's so hard.
It's crazy, right?
It's like I have to say Ray's name. So for me, I'm gonna put Ty Lawson as my 1, just because I seen it. Yeah, I seen it with my own eyes. You know what I mean? And so, fastest dude I've ever seen. And he's strong and physical. And he could still shoot it, but his strength and his athleticism to get to the basket, finish in traffic. And just to push the pace is something that if that Carolina team that I just named, we're going to run, we're going to get up and down.
Ty Lawson at the 1.
Jordan at the
2. Worthy at the 3. Jameson at the 4.
Tyler at the 5.
I mean, that's a hell of a team.
That's a great team.
Y'all gonna win some games.
We're going to win a lot of games. We might hang another banner in the Smith Center. So
sure.
that would be my all-time starting 5.
Dope. Deon Thompson, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We appreciate you being here with us on Wine with Friends and being a perfect example of what we're trying to express out there in the world and the fact that, wine can be such an incredible medium to build those relationships that you're talking about and to do it in a very meaningful and genuine and authentic way. And I just want to tell you again how much, I appreciate you and how proud I am of you and the man that you've become and the way that you carry yourself. Again, just thinking about leading with the heart and just trying to do all the things the right way. So cheers to you, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.